for me, more relative to the commitment. Let's get this kid on the commitment list. And the higher and higher dollar amounts that are now associated with that are sort of a nudge to the recruit to, hey, let's not take a bunch of visits now. Hey, you committed to us. Here's this. Shut it down, right? And we're seeing, a 50-50 rate or so without the total numbers in front of me. We're seeing some kids commit and shut it down. Caden Hall just committed to Florida, told me last night, look, I'm done. The Bama OV, the Florida State OV, those are off, right? Not saying he received money, but that's the pattern, right? You shut down the visits after the verbal commitment. But on the other end, guys who committed late last fall, guys who committed early this spring are still taking several visits to other programs and keeping things wide open. So I think the trend I'm hearing more about now is dollar amount, shut it down, and let's keep this thing going. You're not going to take a bunch of other trips if this package is being put together for you. So we hear more about that than maintaining the commitment with 20 grand a month. I think that is probably congruent with the guys who are making $1 million in these NIL deals. It's a very small amount. You're talking QBs, left tackles, corners, pass rushers, and that might be it. Maybe an interior defensive lineman or two. But it's a very small 10 to 20 guys total in this range with that type of leverage in this day and age. So maybe that group could command something like $20,000 a month to remain verbally committed. I hadn't heard that verbatim. Again, I've heard it more of the payments to get the kid committed versus to hold on to it thereafter. There's sort of an understanding of, hey, this is a lot of money, so let's keep this thing going. But look, that's like you said, Brian. This is something that is an age-old trick or ploy in recruiting. It's happened for generations and decades, and it's not going to stop in this era, even though there's more transparency with the packages these kids are getting, at least at the collegiate level. The front end of it, the high school end of it is murky at best. It always has been, and it always will be relative to cash. So I'm not doubting Kirby's comments. Certainly, I think a few guys are in that range, but as usual, it's a very small minority of recruits and a very small minority of programs that are willing to play that part of the game. But look, it's everyone calls it the Wild Wild West, and this is right in line